Hi, welcome to the mind aspect of this series. Now, I'll be guiding you through probably one of the most painful things you can be going through over the next 60 days, and that is going face to face with those negative, horrible memories that you have. Now, the reason why we've included this segment is very straightforward. From all the work that we've done, whether it's been meeting, consulting, working with prime ministers around the world, presidents, global CEOs, Olympic athletes, or even street children suffering from leprosy, one thing is always apparent. Regardless of your situation in life, there's always those memories that really pollute the person that you want to be. There's those memories that really help change and shape the way that your life should be in a normal circumstance. Now, we can put this in a more simple and easier way for you. Now, if you look back in your own life right now, there'll be memories that you have that were your defining moments, things that you did that you feel exceptionally proud of. It could be the day that you proposed to your girlfriend or to your boyfriend, or the day that you gave birth or witnessed the birth of your child. It could even be the day that you passed the exam or a car driving license, whatever it may be. These will be your defining moments. But there'll be other times in your life. There'll be the times that you remember the saddest points, those lowest points that you have. Maybe a time that people said things to you or about you. Maybe in school and people bullied you for a certain aspect about you. Maybe at work and you had such a horrible day and something terrible happened, and you can relive that memory over and over again. We normally find here at the 60daytransformation.com site, especially with the clientele that we work with around the world from doing our coaching sessions, a lot of people suffer from heartbreak, and they remember so vividly that image of when that breakup happened and what occurred, and the way that they still continue to feel because of that memory. Let's put it this way. Your brain is a supercomputer, as you would have read throughout the articles that we've given to you. It absorbs every single element. And like a computer, as soon as a computer is a virus, everything slows down. And the slower and slower the computer goes, that more energy is being put into fighting this virus. The same thing happens with the brain. Sometimes we have a memory that's so bad, it's so horrific for us, or we place so much value on it, that our brain doesn't know what else to do. We're still trying to find a solution for this memory, but everything else that you're doing, you can't put your efforts into. Like a computer, sometimes there's a trigger point. If you visit a certain website, if you visit a certain document, it triggers off a virus straight into the computer. Same thing happens to you. You may be walking down the street and you smell something, you hear something, you see something, and it reminds you of this time that you had. In a good way, it could be the smell of coffee or the smell of cakes. It reminds you of your childhood. In a bad way, it could be a smell of something or the sight of something that reminds you of something that was horrifically bad for you. Maybe if you had a phobia of a dog, and every time you see a dog wagging his tail, it creates fear. Like a computer, it's triggering off the virus, it's triggering off something happening in the back of your mind right here, which is an image that you have, it's a belief strategy that you have, and that's what's controlling your life. So in this session, we're going to be covering all of this through a simple exercise. Now, the exercise I'll be showing you combines two elements. One is from NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, so we'll be looking at one of the techniques utilized there, and the other part of the exercise will be combining different programs out there, mind tools and kinesiology tools. So this way we're having a holistic approach towards dealing with this memory that you have. Before partaking in this, it's very important that you drink plenty of water. Hydrate your brain. Secondly, make sure that you have nothing electrical on around you apart from this DVD, obviously, or the cassette that you may be listening to. Make sure your phones are off and everything's off the hook. Thirdly, make sure that you're dressed in something that you feel comfortable in, and that you're in a room that is purely silent, that feels wonderful to you. And lastly, all you simply need to do is know that you're in a safe place and you can feel totally relaxed. We've been doing this for many years, so you can trust us in knowing that whatever happens in this exercise, the way you're going to feel afterwards will be a positive, refreshing experience for you. Let us begin. The first thing I'd like you to do is very simply, You just get used to the environment that you're in. We're going to do a very simple, deep and quick exercise. First thing I'd like you to do is, with your eyes right now, is dart your eyes around the room. I want you to pick a focus on one element. It could be maybe the corner of your room right now. It could be your watch, your thumb, a glass, a mobile, whatever it is around you. Pick a dot, focus, close your eyes, pick another dot. Focus purely on that dot for a couple of seconds, close your eyes, pick another dot, and keep on doing this for the next 30 seconds. Look, focus, close, look, focus, close, look, focus, close, look, focus, close. And what we're starting to do straight away is externalize. We're making sure that we're aware of the surroundings that we're in. The next step that I want you to do, which is very easy, very simple, is just feel the presence of the room. If you're wearing socks right now, feel the way that your feet feels against the socks. If you're not wearing socks, feel the way that your feet feel against the floor. Maybe feel the way that your legs are resting whilst you're sitting. Maybe the way that your back feels against what cushions it's on. The way that your shoulders feel, the way that your wrists feel soft and gentle as they flop over naturally into a position that suits them. Maybe how easy it is for you to breathe in deeper than before, and how your shoulders feel relaxed and your ears feel relaxed. Become aware of how your eyes feel, the way that your knees feel, the way that the back of your neck feels. And you can imagine that it's so easy for you just to allow everything just to drop and relax. And as you relax now, deeper and deeper, just want you to feel how your jaw relaxes. And how suddenly as your jaw relaxes, your eyes relax and your ears relax. And in this state I want you to imagine and feel the top of your head here. And take a nice, deep, relaxing breath. And breathe out. This time letting every single thing disappear. One more time. Breathe in. And relax. Allowing all the air to escape from your lungs. And as you do, you feel your chest moving slightly forward. As you go down deeper and deeper in a relaxing pose that suits you. Now in this state you may find that sounds start to swell up around you and you can really hear the silence. Apart from my voice, everything else is clear. Now what we'll be doing right now is a very simple exercise. And what's the important part of this is that you actually really understand what shapes your memory. What are the trigger points? Now, as we mentioned earlier, your brain is a computer. And it's constantly fighting a virus. And that virus is all those built up memories, those things that really trap energy within you. Have you ever thought of this? When you're at work or in school or college or wherever situation you place yourself in, they have one overriding thought for that day. Maybe it's a piece of music that you just can't help get out of your mind. Think of that piece of music and throughout the whole day you keep on thinking about it, you can't escape, and everything you try and do you can just hear that piece of damn music constantly. Well, the same thing happens as an undercurrent to beliefs. There's been a memory out there that's really stopped you from growing and being the person you want to be. Now what we're going to start to do is discover what shapes that memory, what gives that memory power. Because the reality is, once we understand what gives that memory power, we also understand what we need to do to manipulate that memory to change it totally. I want you to think of this like a piece of paper with a drawing on there. Imagine you have this beautiful drawing that you did. You put so much effort and detail into it. Then all of a sudden you rip up the piece of paper, not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times, but over 100 times you're ripping it up so each piece gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Then you're screwing it all up and you're throwing it on the floor. Then what you're trying to do after is unravel each piece and stick it together, and hopefully you get the same image back. Well, the reality is, if you try to do that, it's going to be very, very tough. You're never going to get the accurate image of what you started off with. Now that's the same thing that we're going to do with your memory. It's actually taken on a deeper principle that's actually used in interrogation methods, but also in brainwashing methods. So what we're going to utilize is the same techniques but in a positive method. What I want you to do right now is start understanding about what shapes your memory. So right now I want you to pick any memory that you have before we go into something more detailed. Okay? Let's start out with a positive memory. Something that you feel happy with, that you feel good with, that you feel positive with. And we're going to call this memory A from now on. Okay? Although we're good, we're not that good that we can get into your brains over the cassette right now. You have that memory. All I want you to simply do, if it's a positive memory, I want you to straighten your back, take a deep breath in, look up, or do whatever you need to do, and start to imagine and create that memory around you. It could be a time that you feel absolutely relaxed. You could have been on a beach or on holiday. Or it could be a time that you witnessed the birth of your child, or you got married, or you proposed, or you met your partner, whatever it may be, or even passed an exam or a test. Whatever memory it may be, get that memory back right now. Now, whilst that memory is there in your mind, that's good. Whilst that memory is there in your mind right now, I want you to become aware of what creates that memory. I want you to become aware of how you position yourself in that memory. Are you in your memory, or are you watching your memory on a big screen right now? Like a big cinema screen. Secondly, I want you to become aware of who else is in that memory, and can you see their faces? How vivid are things for you? Is the memory in black and white, or is it in colour? Now let's go down even deeper. I want you to get the feeling of perspective of that memory. How far are things away from you? How close are they? We're going to start getting into detail over how this memory is built up on. A bit like that movie Inception. How they can create different images in their head is the same thing that you can create right now. Now what I want you to do is become aware of the sounds that you hear. Do you hear your own voice, as if it's coming from you? Or do you hear your voice as if it's been recorded on a cassette? What other noises are around you? Are they muffled, or are they clear? Get deeper. Start to understand it more. What are the tones like in your memory? Now let's shift even further. Feeling, tactile. How do you feel in your memory right now? Apart from feeling absolutely joyous or feeling very, very relaxed and subdued. How are you feeling? Are you feeling cold? Are you feeling warm? What's happening? Now, what we're doing here is pretty straightforward. We're breaking down the memory into more of a scientific, if we can use that word, approach. We want to understand how each part shapes and each part gets put together. Now what I want you to do is just take physical note. How is your body right now whilst you're thinking about this memory? Are you slouching? Is your back up and right? Is it straight? What are your legs doing? Where are your hands? What's your breathing like? Is it deep and relaxed? Or is it shallow? Whilst you're having this memory, this positive memory, can you breathe clearly through your nose, or are your nostrils blocked? Do you have a headache whilst you think of this memory, or are you feeling absolutely alive? What's happening? It's really important for you to note what's happening in this memory, what it creates in you, what the functions are. Because what that's going to allow us to do is decode the negative memory and understand what are those little anchor points that's triggering off the negative behaviour. The same tool can be used for phobias. So this video is very, very powerful for you. Now we're there, now you've enjoyed the memory for a while, and obviously take your time to do so. Now I want you to get even bigger and deeper and bolder in your step. I want you to get that memory, I want you to make it stretch it out in front of you. What happens if you make the images smaller? Does the intensity of the memory disappear, or does it get even bigger? What happens if you make the colours stronger and more bolder? A bit like that TV tuning system where you can make the colours go up brighter. Does it intensify the memory, or does it just distort the memory? And now what happens to the volume? If you make the volume of the memory louder and bigger and stronger, does it have more of an effect? And what happens if you make it lighter, higher pitched? Does it have effect? Now what these are is your submodalities. These are things that we're playing about with right now. Again, I mentioned this before. What's your body doing right now whilst you think about the memory? Are you clenching your fists? Is it exciting memory? Is it a passionate memory? Are you licking your lips? Is it a different type of memory? Are your nostrils flaring? Are your jaw strong? Is your ears pinned back? What's happening physically when you think about this memory? Because that will also give us a clue. What is currently happening? What does that memory mean to you really? How does your body feel when you think of that memory? Do you have any pains coming around the body? Do you have joyous feelings coming around the body? What's occurring? Automatically you've seen right now that one memory isn't just one memory. One memory has a trigger point of hundreds of different things across the body. And this is what we need to get to a state of. So now we've covered the positive side. Unfortunately, my dear friends, we're going to be covering the negative side. What I would like you to do right now is go even further. Let's delve head on, face on with those negative memories that have been pestering away at you. A bit like a caterpillar to a new root. Before the root can grow fully to its tree or its willow status, we needed to get past that little initial period, and that caterpillar is like that negative memory, that negative belief that's been biting away at you for years and years. So right now, let's get that negative memory put forward. Good. Again, realize this. You're in a safe place. Get yourself ready for this memory technique. Optimize yourself. Breathe in. Breathe out. Do your techniques from kinesiology if you need to. You're switching. Breathe in. Breathe out and relax. Now we're going to start. What I'd like you to do right now for me is get back to that negative memory. A memory that you felt defined you. Good. Now it can be from childhood, it can be from anything that you wish to have it as. But grab a memory that makes you feel uncomfortable. That makes you feel slightly annoyed or slightly sad. Whatever it needs to be. Remember, this is a memory that we're going to change the meaning of now forever. So if you don't want to go into anything too hard right now and you'd rather save that for later, do so. All we're going to do is change the shape, the feeling and the meaning of the memory until it totally disappears. During this practice period, it's always good to have a close friend, a confidant with you. Someone that can help you out whenever you need to. If you do have somebody next to you, all you need to get them to do, very simply, is get their hand and stick it in your forehead. Like so, so the palm of your hand right here is touching the front of your head. And all they need to simply do is just allow that memory, and they'll start to feel it quite soon, a beating, a pulsating mark across your forehead. And all they have to do is just feel that memory, just let it disappear. If you don't have a friend with you and you're doing this solo, well, good on you. Get your own hand and put it at the top there, and just imagine that you're letting it all go and you're letting it disappear. So let us start. Get that memory right now, let it come to your mind and relax. Now as that memory starts to create itself in your mind, I'd like you just to remember one thing. You are in full, total control. Your memory is like a DVD player, and all you're simply doing is slotting it in. At any moment that you wish to, all you have to do is press the pause button that you can imagine on the side, or the stop button, whatever you need to do. But right now I want you to create that memory. Bring it back to yourself. Notice how your body changes and feels as you do so. Good. Once you've got that memory, if you haven't got it right now, pause this. If you have got it, continue playing. Create that memory in your head. Now what I want you to do is break it down. Again, are you in the image or are you watching the image? A bit like a cinema screen. Are the colours vivid? What's happening around you? Where are you right now? How do you feel right now whilst you have that memory? Good. Now intensify that memory. We're going to make it more painful or worse until we make it better. Remember, at any stage that you need to, all you have to simply do is open your eyes, look around the room, breathe, straighten your back, jump up and down, and you can end the process. So you have your own trigger point. But let's go further, let's go deeper, let's get stronger. Get that memory, what's happening, that negative memory, that negative emotion. Create it up so it gets bigger and deeper for you. Whatever the situation is, intensify, and you subconsciously know what to do. Make the images brighter, make them duller. If there's screaming involved, make it louder, make it sharper, make it more piercing like a needle against the heart. If it's a feeling of depression or sadness, intensify it. Make it feel even worse than ever before. And all I simply want you to do right now whilst you're in that state, just feel how your body feels, how it's all triggering off images and sensations across your body where you may be starting to tense up certain parts of your body without even realising. Good. Now you're getting used to what it is to be human. Feel that memory. Now all I want you to do is simply right now, as you listen to my voice, you watch the screen, open your eyes, look around the room, take a deep breath in, clap your hands, do whatever you need to do, tap the front of your forehead, as so, relax, get back to the memory. So now you have that memory in place. What I'd like you to do now is start changing and shifting certain parts of that memory. If you found that if you make it more deeper, in terms of the colours, make it more lighter. See what happens. Let's change the colours to start off with, that's easier. Change the colours. If it's a physical image, turn it into a cartoon image. So all of a sudden everything's a cartoon. How does that make you feel about that memory? What happens? If, for example, turning into a cartoon doesn't help, turn into black and white, suck out all the colour from it in total. And maybe this time, change the people in the image. Maybe if they're standing there as human beings, turn them into animals. I think everyone's seen Shrek. If you haven't, make sure you watch it. That's not an endorsement, by the way. But imagine maybe the person that's giving you the most problem is Donkey from Shrek. Turn him into a donkey. The teeth are sticking out here. How does that shift the way that the memory feels? Good. Now you're starting to see results. Now what I want you to do is take it deeper. Change the way that the fashion works. What are you hearing in the memory? Are you hearing the voices that you hear now? Or can you also change the voices that you have? Make them more high-pitched, like this. Like imagine if somebody spoke to you like this, it would have less of an emotional effect upon you. Unless, of course, you're a big fan of people with high-pitched voices. If they're very high-pitched, make them very low-pitched. I can imagine if you heard somebody with a very low-pitched, very white type of voice, it could be slightly different from the normal conversations you have. From hate, it may turn into love. Whatever you need to do, change the voice, change the tone of it. Now remember this background noise as well, the white noise. Maybe you're by a beach, you're by an ocean, you're in the forest, you're at home and the TV's on, or there's a radio on and there's a certain music that's on. Let's change the value of that music right now. If there is any music, let's add music. Maybe it's a memory. This is something you can create. Add a piece of music in the flow back. Maybe a piece of music that you listen to that makes you feel very happy. Remember, the more intense the memory, the more intense the triggers. The more intense the triggers, the more intense it is for you to start memorizing it, and more intense it is that it's affecting your belief strategy. So let's start changing it all through. What we're currently doing right now is, as I said before, we're ripping up the piece of paper, we're shifting it, we're changing the emotion of it. Now what I want you to do is the next step. Now we change the feeling of it, we change the visuals of it, we change the auditory part of it. You know? Now I want you to change the tactile part of it. Make it more warmer in your memory or more colder, whatever suits you most. If you love the warm climate, make it bloody boiling. You should be sitting in the Caribbean right now, inside a volcano if there is one there. If you love the cool, sharp breeze of the UK summer, what you need to do, imagine yourself in the North Pole and you can feel that ice cold around you. The next step that I want you to do is change your body language posture. Think of this negative memory, but now I want you to straighten up your back and imagine that you're a powerful emperor or empress sitting on your throne. How does the memory feel now? I can imagine it's changing. Some of you may be suffering from a slight headache right now. It's a bit of a weird sensation, but you got so many things working right now for you. Take a deep breath in. Do you get any pains happening in the body whilst you do this program? Whilst you're shifting away this memory? What I would like you to do right now, whilst you're continuing to shift and reshape and rechange, is I want you to close your eyes and open your eyes. This time when you open your eyes, I want you to shift your direction across the room, as so. Focus on a point, hold the point, relax. Focus on another point, hold the point, relax. And keep shifting around your focus. Now close your eyes again now. This time I want you to get this memory that you have. Like a big screen, and I want you to put the edge of the screen right there in your mind and make it very small, like a video thing, or when you're watching YouTube. You know, if you're not watching this on YouTube already, that means the pirates haven't got to us yet, but keep it there. And what I want you to do is now create a positive memory. Something that you feel happy with. Something that you feel empowered with. Something that really shifts you to what you want to be. And we're going to take it deeper. Rather than memorizing an old memory, I want you to create a new memory from this memory. I want you to imagine right now that you're in that same position, that you feel hurtful, you feel upset, you feel abandoned, whatever it may be. But now I want you to shift it. I want you to imagine that you're back in that memory, that old memory. If you can't even try to get that old memory back, because I know it's going to be very, very difficult, but try and get that old memory back. But this time I want you to imagine you have a cameraman there and a whole crew. And you're actually on the set of either a TV commercial or movie, your own Hollywood or Bollywood blockbuster. If you're in Nigeria, a Nollywood movie. And you got the camera crew there. You got the makeup artist. You have the drinks person and the person giving you little foods and, you know, finger foods to eat. This is very good for phobias, by the way, as well. So once you get back that memory, that negative memory, but now I want you to imagine that not only are you in the memory, but as soon as you look around, you can see a whole camera crew right there. Lights, cameras, everybody's there. And there's a big guy with the director's cut. The person that in your memory that you didn't like, but now that person's something that you do like, and there's a director saying, action, boom, let's start. And they go into their emotion, and you give out your lines, you deliver the lines to the cameraman, but somebody yells out, stop! That was rubbish, you have to redo it. So you start the memory again. In your memory again, you're re-going through the whole images. You're there. You're doing the action. The cameraman's filming. Makeup artist is there. They're putting even fog in the memory if you need to have fog. Now what we're doing, we're starting to reshift and change. And I want you to grab this memory and make it more vivid, more alive. In fact, I want you to start laughing to yourself in the memory. Just imagine yourself laughing. And hysterics that you forgot your lines, you said them wrong. You know, if it's a breakup, you said the wrong words. You know, it's it's not you, it's me, but instead of saying that, you said something else. You know, it's you, it's not me. You know, you're reversing all the words forward. If it's something even harder than that to deal with, you know, you've got the words mixed up. You got everything else that's not worked out for you. You know, mix up the words. Imagine that you made a fault. Imagine that the painting falls off from the window. If there's not one there, create it there. Imagine if you're standing there, you feel an earthquake and everything starts moving. You have to restart. So right now, I want you to start creating this new image for yourself. Once you've done it, I want you to just feel how your body feels and how everything's adjusting. Good. Now what I'd like you to do is open your eyes right now and look around the room, very simply, very easily. And notice how sharper images are around you. Notice how colours are. Notice how quiet the world is and how silent things become. Now what I'd like to do is grab that memory back. Memory B, which is a manipulated memory, and memory A, which is you can't even see anymore because it's so damn distorted. Now what I'd like you to do is actually get these images and in your mind, mix them together, let them blur together. So memory A is coming towards the centre of your focus and memory B is coming to the centre of your focus, and all of a sudden they're getting merged. Merging, 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 merging. And now I want you to pull it back away again. So you got memory B here, memory A here. Now again I want you to bring it together in your head, merging the memory together, everything's getting mixed up and bundled. And now pull it away again together. And one more time, bring the memory together, merge it together, now hold it there. Whilst in that situation, this is where you get your hand against your head, or get somebody else to put their hand against your head, and just say to yourself, I'm releasing myself from all versions of this story, and really focus on how you feel. I want you to be able to look at that new distorted memory now with no emotion, with no feeling, that everything's drained out, all the colours are zoomed out of it, that all the voices are zoomed out of it, and all that's left is just an image that is worthless. A bit like that plastic plate from a barbecue that's about to go in the bin. Just extracts of things that you can't even make sense of anymore. That's good. Do it again now. I want you to open your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Look around the room. See how your body language shifts, how your body changes. Now I want you to do this for me right now. I want you to think of a positive image, a positive memory, a positive experience that you've had. Good. Now create that in your head. And see how easy it is now for you to actually create new images, and how easy it is for you just to manipulate old images. This, my friends, is as simple as it gets. Remember, practice makes perfect. If that memory is there like a stubborn stain, what do? You don't just wash it once and give up and throw it in the bin. You wash it a couple of times, you buy a new detergent. In your case, you don't buy a new detergent, you just change the way that you put your memory to be. You change the focus of it. Now here's the truth as well. If it's something that's so painful, you know, what you're also doing to yourself when you're doing this case is you're forgiving yourself. You're saying, I forgive myself. Now forgiveness doesn't change the past. It doesn't always make things better. But what it does do for you, it creates an opportunity for a brighter future. It allows you to get by and get past the virus, like that nasty code, and allows you to feel more stronger, more powerful, and it allows all those negative things just to subside itself so you can actually concentrate on what matters most. So in your memory, keep on reminding yourself that. Tell yourself that you forgive yourself. Tell yourself that you're letting go and you're relaxing. Right now, what I'd like you to do is take another deep breath in for me, and take as long as you need to be in this situation, and just allow yourself just to feel that memory coming through your fingers. Just feel all that energy, that built up negative energy flowing away from your toes and flowing away from your ears and your eyes and your mouth. A bit like a movie. Just imagine it all going out. Every single area, and all that you're left with is this pure, clear, a white crystal light. It's reshaping and re-energizing. And as that negative energy goes through your fingers, as so, and you can even physically move like this from your head moving down. I want you just to be feeling a new breath of life come into you. Now this is the end of this segment here. Obviously rewind this, go over it time and time again, and keep on practicing these techniques to help you. Now you can use this technique for a variety of reasons. One, again, if it's something that's happened, a bad memory, a bad belief system that you had, let it go. Second, if you've got a phobia and you want to shift that phobia, same thing, you get that image of you drinking that thing that you don't want to drink anymore, that cigarette that you don't want to smoke anymore, and reshift it. Imagine rather than you smoking the cigarette, imagine that you're smoking the most disgusting of things on the planet. The reason why this works so well is that the brain is a computer. Whatever you program it to do, whatever images you implant in the brain is going to create that stem from. Right now, for example, you're quite supple, you feel relaxed. Imagine that you're having a piece of a juicy lime, fresh lime piece, you've cut it and you're getting all those squirts coming across you. Maybe you've got one in your eye, whatever it is. But imagine right now you're getting that lime piece and you're putting it towards your teeth. You actually take a bite into it. You can feel that feeling, can't you? How the lime feels against your fingers, even that smell. Same thing happens with the memory. You can change the way that you remind yourself of things. You can change the way that you reprogram the way that you construct a memory. So if you have a phobia, do the same thing. If it's an addiction, do the same thing. I'll show you another video for that as well. All you need to do is program in what you wish it to do. This session right now was just to show you how you can manipulate your own mind to just change the way that you feel, but also change the way that you perceive memories to be. What you find after a while is that when you start deeply listening to yourself, when a problem happens, you can reshift it then and there. Reshift the focus of it. What you're doing, you're tackling with your phobias head on. Now there is nothing reality in life, everything's perception, and what you're creating right now is a different perception of everything. So keep on practicing these over and over again. Relax, obviously. Make sure you can just feel the feelings dissipate whenever you need to, and reprogram yourself with empowered beliefs. Listen to the binary beat compilation that we created for you right now after this, and see how well you can reprogram your mind. That's the end of this part right now, but I'll see you soon for the next video.